Okay, so take two on Don't Run with Scissors. This is Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mama of twins, and three crazy rescue dogs, a rescue cat, and four rescue guinea pigs who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to be an ASL interpreter, and is trying to train for Ironman. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, boosts my serotonin and my self-esteem, and we could all use that. If you are returning, welcome back to the crazy. You know what you're in for, so grab your drinks, sit on down, and let's have at it. As I mentioned, this is take two. We had a little incident. I mentioned I have three crazy rescue dogs. My oldest rescue is 13. And I don't know what's going on with her, but she's getting a little aggressive at random times. And so I had to go break up a fight, which is difficult because I'm still having a hard time moving because they had to cancel my back procedure last Wednesday because I was on antibiotics and have an ongoing infection in my leg. And if they do the injections, they're basically putting steroids into my body, which could potentially cause the infection to just explode. That's not the right word. Spread rapidly. And because they don't want to take that chance, and nor do I, we have postponed it. He said he will get me in as soon as we are even 5 days off of antibiotics, as long as the leg is cleared up. Anytime he will put me in on a Wednesday or a Friday, he does procedures, then that very next rotation, on either that next Wednesday or that next Friday, that he will just sandwich me in between other people. So, yeah, not fun. We are on our second antibiotic for the leg, though, and I'm not sure it looks any better, to be honest. So I'm getting a little nervous because I do not. Years ago, for my brain, with my brain surgery and the shunts, I was on a PICC line at home. I do not want to do this, and I certainly don't want to be inpatient at the hospital for any period of time. So we're gonna, fingers crossed, I go back to my doctor on Wednesday to look at my leg and decide what is next. The pain management doctor has given me Norco, in the hopes that I'm not allergic to it, because I'm allergic to tramadol, and that's sort of in that same class, I guess. So, yeah, I have not taken it yet. I've been just trying to really nurse my back and being very careful of everything. So, this last week was Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a very peaceful Thanksgiving. Mine was actually really nice. I did not cook. We went over to a friend's house with his family. And while the meal itself was a little different, I mean, every family is going to have their own way of making stuffing or different things like that. It was really nice. So we had dinner. And then we watched A Christmas Story. I took some stitching with me, and really and truly, I got to kind of take a deep breath and rest. And that is something that I have needed for a while, as you guys know. Did I still work on schoolwork? Yes, I sure did. What it allowed me to do was meet with our deaf mentor, and practice signing. And I also took some like internship hours. One was on signing for car repairs. And how do you describe to a deaf client, or how does a deaf client describe to you to tell the mechanic what needs to be fixed or what part to order, especially if you're not overly familiar with that specific car. So it was really interesting. So I built up a lot of internship hours This semester we have to do 30 observation hours and 30 interactive hours where we're signing and that. I now have, and any hours above the 30 of each will carry over because by the time we graduate, we each have to have 300 hours. So mine, I now have more than enough observation hours for this semester. So I'm actually carrying over some. I still need like 2.5 hours of interactive hours. So really and truly just another solid week of meeting with a tutor twice. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. Because I still got a couple weeks. And in between there, I still have a couple classes. An organization called, or a company called Sorensen offer free classes, especially to ITP students, in the hopes that eventually we'll apply to work for them. Am I going to apply to work for them? No, that is not my plan. But again, I'm building those skills, and that's a good thing. So I have a couple of those. We actually are going to go and watch the Michigan School of the Deaf, School for Deaf, is about a 40-ish minute north drive for us. And they are doing the Nutcracker. And so the kids and I are going to go see the Nutcracker. So I'm very excited about that. I think that'll be really interesting and very cool. And then I have like a 6-hour workshop in Lansing, which is about just over an hour drive from my house, for signing to get ready for the educational interpreting practical exam. But it's 6 hours of, hey, how do we team sign? How do we sign for little kids who may not have the vocabulary? Like how do you teach a kid what a car is if they don't know what a car is? You know, those sorts of things. So really excited. Again, that will set me up well for a lot of hours to carry over in the coming semester. So that is a big deal. It is awesome. So that being said, I have been doing PT for my hand, and you can tell I'm getting much better at the range of motion. We've been doing a lot of exercises and things. It's a little disconcerting when you go back to the doctor, though, and every time I go back to to ortho about my hand, we x-ray, he's like, oh, did you know you broke it here, too? So apparently I broke my wrist or my arm in 3 places. All are healed, but that explains why, like, it's been a little rough. And part of that is, you know, depending on the angles and things like that, breaks aren't always hard and fast and look right. You know, I get it. And you fix the major ones first, and then you go into the little minor ones. So I apparently even broke a bone that's in through here, which is why my thumb had been, as we were using my thumb more without the brace on, that's what set off the muscles and tendons in here. So we've done some adjustments. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to PT last Wednesday, and I won't get to go to PT tomorrow because last Wednesday I took my ex-husband to the ER and they admitted him, and tomorrow I have to take my daughter to her class because normally my ex-husband was doing that because my son had class and I had PT, so conquer and divide, split, conquer and divide, or divide and conquer on that one. So right now I'm doing all the driving of everyone everywhere, but my son doesn't no longer, his English class is finished, and fingers crossed this kid passes class. Seriously. Yoga is also done. I have a new appreciation for yoga. Is yoga ever going to be my form of relaxation? No. And I think that the single biggest gift I got from this class, did I learn other things? Absolutely. Did I have fun? Most of the time. But I learned that I don't have to use yoga as a form of relaxation if it is not relaxing. I can find my relaxation in other ways and still use yoga as part of a way to strengthen my body and stretch my muscles and things like that. And once I took that pressure off myself and started to look at it from a different perspective, the class actually became really fun. So, I'm kind of sad to see it go, although I do appreciate not having an extra thing on my plate. So, we are still not back to biking or anything, unfortunately. But until the leg heals, clears up, or looks better, that is not something we want to do. And until I am off antibiotics for at least 5 days, they can't do the injections into my spine with the steroids. But he said he would fit me in as soon as we reach 5 days off antibiotics with it being better. So we're just kind of baby stepping it. So the other thing I did last week was I got actually quite a bit of stitching done. And I also started charting a few things. Unfortunately, then my computer went through an upgrade or an update, and it restarted my WinStitch program with stuff that hadn't been saved. So I have to start those over again, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. So, I have been working away on things. I have my list of things to do. I'm actually sitting really well. I got a lot of things off of it. I've got a couple things that will come off of it tomorrow, and hopefully a few more things that will come off of it by the next time we talk. And so yeah, so it's all good. So with that said, we have been working away. I don't have any fully finished objects, and I don't have any haul. I've been really good. Have I wanted to buy some new things? Yes. Yes. There are a few patterns that are like screaming at me that they would like to come live at my house. But they aren't yet. Let's see how I feel about them. I don't know. Maybe I'll use some Christmas money. I don't know. But really and truly, I need to focus on using what I have and not just... Okay, so whip go. I am still down to just one square. That is Lady of the Flag. It needs 10 days. So either way, we're going into December needing to get 10 days on Lady of the Flag. While I did not actually work on Lady of the Flag, I did print out the pattern. The problem is that it shoves the big, mirabilias are those weird size paper. So I printed it on my 8.5 by 11 normalist sheet of paper. But I'll show you this little teeny tiny part of the pattern. See that? How the hell am I supposed to read that? Not even with my bifocals can I read those symbols. Not a clue. So that's not going to work. So I am going to have to go to Kinko's. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm now out of printer paper too because I just printed a client file that I need to take over to Social Security Administration. And it was like 1,500 pages worth of documents. They're going to love me over there. So yeah. So I'm going to have to go to Kinko's. That's fine. Or figure out how to print it bigger on my own printer. I don't know. So that is also double dipping on my Whips Be Gone page. The other thing that I have to do is catch up my Under the Sea sale. And they've actually had another part that dropped. it's like a chunk of coral down here. And then there's one more part. So I'm still back up here with the otters and the fishes. So this is going to be my travel project this week. Tomorrow, while Bean is in class, of course, I'm going to take my laptop because I have a couple things that I can work on for work, which certainly trumps everything else. But hopefully I can start chunking away at getting that caught up. And those are the only two things left on my Whips Be Gone page. So I do need to cut a bunch of stuff on the Cricut. So what I have to do tomorrow is run Bean out to campus, wait for her because it doesn't make sense to, it's a 40+ minute drive from my house to campus. So to drop her off, drive home, I would have like an hour-ish, hour and a half. And then I'd have to head back just to drive back. Then I have a chunk of time where I'm home. And then the boy child and I have to go because we both have classes out there at night. In between there, I have to drop off forms at the Social Security office. I have to drop off an Amazon return, run to the post office and the bank. And I think I'm set on homework for tomorrow night, but I do need to work on my Tuesday homework. I got a few things. The days kind of got away from me this last week. That was the other thing. Like, really weird. Okay. But I did get a bunch of stuff. Okay, so these are my two focuses for December. These two bags. Okay. And then of course always I have, the Marine Corps emblem. If I can get further ahead on that, that would be great. Okay. So since I saw you last, I worked on my Kelly's version of the epic storybook Princess Sal from Cloud's Factory. I have my center castle is actually Maleficent's, and then on the top of the other two columns, because it's supposed to be 3 columns wide, rather than stitching it the way it is, I'm going to do the Disney princesses, the Cinderella's castle and Sleeping Beauty's castle, as charted by Yvette at Ivory Coast Ivory Needle Stitching, Ivory Needle Shop on Etsy, who's added some of the other Disney movies, but she's also recharted the castle so that they look a little bit closer to what you would actually expect. So this, I finished all of the stitching. I still need to go in. There's a couple beads and some back stitching, but it's back stitching in gold Kreinik, and for the love of God, I just did not have it in me to do it. And then in black, I will do Orlando 1971. When I do Sleeping Beauty's castle over here, it will obviously say Anaheim in whatever the year that was. Over the top, I am going to put Wonderful World of Disney. I had that almost charted, but when my computer did the update, closed out WinStitch, and that was one of the things I lost. So I will have to start it. I will rechart it. So I did finish the castle. The second castle, actually. Let's see. For those of you who are wondering, this is where Lady of the Flag is right now. It's one of those big, huge pieces of fabric that I self-dyed. Amy always thinks it's funny when I have yards of fabric, and I'm like, where's my little stitches? It is funny. Okay, so this is where she is right now. I don't know where she'll be in 10 days. But right now, she's beautiful. She is a beauty. The problem is the pattern isn't on normal size fabric. Okay, these are two. So I was going to work on the one project but on Thanksgiving. But because we were at their house, and I knew that she would go, well, what are you working on? And then I would have to go, oh, it's a picture of you and your late husband. That would spoil the surprise. So I did not. As most of you know, I asked you before, should I start turkey sausage or should I work on my whip? I was good, and I worked on my whip. So Thanksgiving after dinner, so the evening, Friday, Saturday, and even most of today, I worked on Be Thankful from Country Cottage Needlework. I am so close to having this finished, and yet I kind of burned myself out on it. I have just 2 pumpkins and another crow, and then like the swooshy border here to do on the bottom. So I'm torn because part of me is like, it gets very tedious to just work on all of one. I don't know why working on the white pumpkins to me seems very tedious, where working on the black for the periodic table is just kind of like brainless stitching and doesn't bother me, but it's all 310. I don't know. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is, as much as I would like to say, I'm just going to finish this because I'm so close. I mean, I like literally have this little swooshy part down here and the 2 pumpkins. Actually, I think it's these two. These two here with the bird. I'm going to put it away for now. Will it come out before the end of the year? I don't know. Will it come out before Thanksgiving? Yes. Because we all know I am focusing. I mean, by the end of 2023, it will come back out because it's on one of these cards. And so, yeah. It will see the light of day. When exactly? I don't know. And that's okay. My son gave me back his French horn. Well, I said, why don't you give it back to me and I'll work on it, is actually how the conversation. And he was like, well, but he goes, okay, if you could get me a little bit further, that would be good. And I go, well, great. How far did you work on it? Y'all, he did not work on it at all. Can you tell that's a French horn? Here, let me hold it closer. Can you tell? I mean, really? Dude, I don't even know if I have it the right way. I have the pattern. He can't find the pattern bag. The pattern bag. He can't find the project bag that has the flosses in it. He had the pattern though. I don't know. Okay. So Tammy, this is why I need the big so this is the other project I worked on. As much as I love this project, this one is harder because I have to, it's not very portable at this point. Because this isn't even all of the floss. I only bought one of each of the skeins it needs. There's some still in the bottom of the bag because I didn't have enough floss drops. But this is why, Tammy, this is why I need the heavier duty, like the big one with all of the clips to hold more than just the ornament hook, because these probably weigh more than the ornament hook. What am I talking about? That would be Rosie. It's so cute. This looks like my friend's truck that he is restoring. Her name is Rosie. I'm not even at 3%. Or I think I am at 3%. I know I'm not at 5%. But this is this is how tall it is. I'm not even to Rosie. I want to work on this more because this is one of my on my WIPCO board for next year. Rosie is on there, I think 4 times, because I really want to see major progress on her. But again, it's a little hard to carry around this much floss. In my brain, and don't laugh at me, Stephanie. I know you are laughing, and I kind of deserve it. But in my brain, I didn't think it would need so many colors and be so difficult. The other thing that I have come to realize, I have Pattern Keeper, and I love Pattern Keeper. I'm not even gonna lie, I love Pattern Keeper. And I bought the smaller tablet because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. And now I wish I had the bigger tablet. And the bigger tablet that I would like, that will run Pattern Keeper, is on sale for like $65 on Amazon. And I kind of really like to treat myself. But then I think, I now have a car payment on top of everything else. So, let's see. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. I'm at 3.59% on that. So clearly we have some room to work. But like I said, it's difficult to travel with. I'm hoping as it gets more done, it will be a little bit easier. Okay. So the other thing that I have decided to take on my shoulders, and again, this is all, I can't complain that anybody else is doing this to me because they're not. In our area, we have what's called Festival of the Trees. And it's been going on for years. I mean, there was Festival of the Trees when I was a kid. And the money raised goes to our Children's Hospital Foundation. And in the past, they buy huge pieces of equipment for the hospital, for Children's Hospital and things like that. Whew, I know I'm looking rough. So what they do is they ask for either businesses to sponsor a tree or people to come in and decorate the trees, and then they sell or auction the trees off. And all of the money, and then like whoever wins the auction, they deliver the tree decorated and everything to your house. People in the community can go and view the trees before they are taken and then delivered, all of Thanksgiving weekend. In the past, I have decorated trees for Festival of the Trees for different organizations or businesses that I worked with. And I love doing it. It is a lot of work. Um, it is a labor of love. That's the best way to put it. It's a labor of love. I have decided, as the owner of a law firm, and in kind of mulling it over, and I've asked a friend or two to help me out, that this next Christmas of 2023, KG Law will be sponsoring at least one. They have 6 and 7 foot, and they also have 4-foot trees that we can decorate. KG Law will be decorating at least one 6 or 7 foot tree, and ideally at least one other 4-foot. I'm still kicking around the ideas of themes and how that's going to play out. I know that I want a lot of handmade ornaments. That should not be a problem. I'm fairly crafty. My friends are fairly crafty. One of the ones I'd like to do is to have ornaments that represent all around the world with Merry Christmas in a lot of different languages. even if they're not traditional languages. Like I would love to have an ornament with Braille, with ASL, um, all of that. So, um, if you would like to help me, and I'm also looking for other ideas. Um, you need something that's eye-catching, but not so far out there that like the audience to buy it is limited. Um, like I mean, sure, I could do a dinosaur tree, like, but is that too narrow of a scope? Like, would your family want a dinosaur or Christmas tree? I don't know. One of in the past, one of the things I did was I crocheted a 6 foot Noah's Ark. Yeah, don't ask. It was all wood supported and everything. It was glorious. And then I had the animals going up 2 by 2, with a dove at the top. That tree sold for an, what to me is a bizarre, like crazy amount of money. And there were like churches actually that were fighting over it, and it was sold within 5 minutes of the show opening. Um, I'm I'm just a mom, and but so yeah, so I'm looking for ideas, um, and if you want to help decorate a tree, send ornaments. I don't know. Let me know. If you have ideas too, you know, I'm a one woman show. Clearly, I have friends, and I'm sure my friends will chip in if I ask. And I'm asking, like I don't have any doubts of that, but like to say I'm going to cross stitch 200 ornaments before next Thanksgiving. Actually, it's like they set up those couple days prior to Thanksgiving. Um, that's not going to happen. Not with my schedule the way it is. Not with my life the way it is. So, but that is my goal. That is our goal. And I'm excited, and I can't wait to get started on it. As far as planning. So yeah. So, with that though, it is super late here. Yeah, it's after 12 a.m. I have to be up and taking my daughter to, she's got class at 9, so we have to leave here about 8, which means I have to be up here. I'm doing mom math, so I have to be up by 7 so that I can get ready to go. So, I need to get my butt to bed. Um, if there's anything I can do, or if you have ideas, let me know. Um, I'm trying to think what else. Like, let me know. I'm his Princess Kelly on Instagram. Um, don't forget, Nana's thread wax is amazing. This is cinnamon sticks. I have one more exchange present for my Jeep girls, for my Jeep partner to take care of, and I have to like get the other little accoutrements together for my others and get those in the mail. Um, so yeah, and because I added the 4 extra cards, starting next week, we will pull a card um, for our 52 card pickup. So yeah, so yeah, I will let you go. I'm going to go to bed. I will talk to you guys all later. Um, if you need anything, just reach out. I'm always there. Okay, bye guys.